god, hello. Ooh, my voice. Beth, think you're dreaming first. The world's back in order. Beth is getting first. Miggy, thank you for the 30 bits. Hello, welcome in. Kate for the 23 months. That's actually crazy. That's actually crazy. But how's everyone? How are you guys doing on this fine Monday? Today was a slow day for me. I don't know. I started a new story on a webtoon last night, and it's the only thing I've been able to do or think about. But don't worry, I'm all caught up now, guys. So I can move on with my life. Stop. Blushing and shit, you know? I'm excited to get back into Final Fantasy, considering I probably haven't played in like 2 weeks. 2-3 weeks? 2 weeks? I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up and I'm just gonna get that started. How is y'all's weekends? What do you guys do? I relaxed and still had some B-Day obligations that were going on. And I still have B-Day obligations going on into this week. I feel like it's never ending, honestly. And I feel like I still need to like get a dinner luncheon with like one of my grandparents, and it's like I cannot. Is this my password? That's not my password. There we go. Oh! It has to update. Crazy! Who would have thought? Not me! Not me. It's dead now, thankfully. I got like an email the other day where my company for my internet was like, hey, we're gonna give you higher speeds, like higher downloading speeds. And I was like, oh, sheesh. All right. Give me a second. All right. Next week is big update though, 24-hour downtime on Monday, so I cannot play this next Monday. I'm gonna forget, so can you remind me? I know my butt is gonna forget. I just know it. I guess next Monday we'll have to play a different game. But that's okay. Oh my god. Crazy, look at her. Crazy. But yeah, I'm excited for my continued plans this week / this weekend, because I'm basically just going out to eat with people. Going out to eat with friends, and then I have some more stream plans, which will be on Kate's stream Saturday. Yes, we have Hot Pot. I'm very excited for it. Yeah. I'm just... Mondays are so tiring, and I don't know what it is. Like, no matter... Like, I feel like I didn't do but so much at work today. Sorry. Oh my god. I, like, was gonna cough and sneeze at the same time. Okay, how do I... Oh, here. There we go. But what was I saying? I don't remember. Anyways, what does the next patch release have in it? Is that like more content, I'm guessing? I'm guessing it's updated. It's 7.2, so more MSQ. Amazing. So I'm just falling even more behind. I'm kidding. 24 hours is insane. Yeah. I mean, kind of, but not really, because Final Fantasy XIV is so big. It makes sense to me. Exactly in the right spot. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. But what was I saying? Yeah, 24 hours does make sense to me. I'm gonna be real. Because it's open world and all of that, and I feel like if they aren't careful. Dear Lord, I can't talk, guys. They could just add something and then break something else, and, you know, I'm sure it takes some time to check all that. I'm gonna be real, guys. I don't remember. I don't remember what's happening. I know we just got a bunch of lore dropped on us. I think that's where we left off. Ish. I guess I'll recall once we get to a cutscene. It sucks. They take the whole game down, but they're generally very good about everything working properly afterwards. Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of games, like when they do updates and stuff, like there are bugs and then they fix it later. But I don't feel like I've heard of many bugs in this game, if I'm completely honest. You know, I might know what's going on if I read that, but... huh? Oh. It happens occasionally, but I definitely... Yeah, I feel like it is less significant. I feel like I just would have heard about it, like, a lot more than... I don't know. If it was more significant. Please don't see me. Oh my god, why did you turn? Like when they released On Trail, there was a bug that broke one of the ARR Alliance rates. Oh. I mean, I feel like something in a game this big that's like open world, something is gonna get broken no matter what. I like honestly can't even imagine the amount of coding that goes into this game and the amount of upkeep and all of that. Like, genuinely, no idea. Like, props to these games makers. I think it'd be really cool to learn about this type of thing, though, because, like, open world, you have to somehow store, like, everyone's... Oh my god, please. Everyone's data. Like, separate data that they collect. While also making the game run perfectly. It's just funny that it broke something from the base game. Like, why was that even affected? Yeah, I mean, I just feel like anything dealing with programming or computers or technology, it's very much like, why did that happen? And then it's most of the time like, oh, it just was stupid and did this one thing. I don't know. It happens a lot like in design. Like I'll be in my system that I use for like designing houses and I'm like, why is it doing that? It has never done that before. Why is it doing it now? It's not, the simple fix is not working. Like, and then it's just like, sometimes I just have to exit out and start it back up again and it works. And it's like, oh. Don't know why that happened, but okay. Fantastic. Amazing. But yeah, one of the running jokes kind of is that Final Fantasy XIV is built on spaghetti code. It's such a convoluted mess that if you touch one thing, it breaks something unrelated. Yeah. I feel like that's what a lot of older games that have survived into today, like open world especially like this, are... Because like how do you connect new coding to old coding? Dear Lord, I cannot speak. To old coding, and then also make it work flawlessly, but then also not upheal like your whole system, because that would take forever. Which we know that Final Fantasy has kind of healed their whole system a little bit before, to maximize it a little bit, I think. But just to think about like redoing all of it would, whew, heart hurts. God, I forgot. I forgot it's insanely bright. Oh, we're looking for the big guy so we can make the sun go away all the time. That's what we're doing right now. I forgot. Oh my gee golly. You have to be... You're doing your daily star, Candy Beth. Alan, welcome in. It's so nice to see you. How are you? Thank you for doing your daily star, Candy. Do you know what I didn't do? It's fine. It's fine. That's a tomorrow issue. I'm not even gonna think about it. I know, I've been so good at opening Mix It Up. I've done it for the last so many streams. Oh my god, whatever. You know what? I'ma just... Shadowbringers has been good. I'm trying to recall where I left off. So that's where I'm at. But I'm glad you're doing good. I know, I feel like there was a point where I was kind of close to Alan, and now I'm not. Oh, that's closed off. It looks open, so that's very confusing. Even the map doesn't show I can go that way. Been lagging lately. Still at the edge, early stages of Endwalker. Hey, you got all the time in the world to finish it. Fields of Mystria, put me behind. I need to pick up Fields of Mystria again. I'm waiting for them to put in the multiplayer aspect of it because I cannot wait for that. That's gonna be so fun. Dude, look at me. That's so valid, Beth. That is so valid. You starting it and then only getting like a few days in. Do I really have to... And gives up. Well, it's very like... It is a game where you have to be in the mood to play it, I feel like. Oh my gosh. Because I think there was like a week or two I was actually quite obsessed with it, and I didn't want to play anything else, so... But, then again... When I hyperfixate on one game, it's hard to pull me away from another. I've been trying to level up my fishing. Yeah, fishing is slow level up in that game. I think when I dropped it, it's kind of on pause right now because I definitely see myself going back to it. It was like at the very beginning of it coming out, and I felt like I couldn't I couldn't like grind it anymore. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't just play it as much as I wanted to and keep leveling up and not having to like wait an excessive amount of time. And by excessive amount of time, I just mean like 24 hours. I just wanted to play it non-stop, continuing to level up and do what I needed to do. Okay. But yeah, I gotta go into this cave now. I do really like the fishing in that game, though. I like it a lot, actually. Like the fishing mechanic. But I also hate the fishing mechanic in Stardew. Me and that will never be friends. But I think I like this one a lot because it reminds me of Animal Crossing. Which I'm very excited. Is there another one? You gotta be sheeshing me. But I'm really excited for hopefully Nintendo to announce a new Animal Crossing game coming out on the new Switch. Hello? Sheesh. Exactly. I don't know why that came out, but it did. And here we are. Oh my gee golly. I wouldn't hold your breath for new Animal Crossing anytime soon. Yeah, I know. I'm not like, oh my god, like, it's gonna happen. I'm just kind of like, I hope. Because I know how they operate with Animal Crossing. I know they're not gonna be super nice. about it and give it to us in a timely manner. I'm going the wrong way. My only thing with Mystria is that it is very easy to fill your item slots up. Yes. Yeah, that was another thing that had me being like, ugh. My running back and forth all the time was just annoying. Please leave me alone. Okay. It sure would be nice, wouldn't it? A new Animal Crossing, please. But not gonna happen anytime soon. I'm gonna guess in the next 10 years, if that. Thank you for the lyric, I appreciate it. And thank you for saying hi. I hope you're doing well. My voice cracked. What is wrong with me today? But it was Switch 2 exclusives, I'm sure would push sales. Yeah, truly. It would push the sales of the second Switch. But that would piss off so many people, yeah. Yeah. But, you know, I feel like they're just gonna do that anyways, because they've done that with every other console, and I hate to say it, it's not like we don't buy it anyways, you know? Or people don't buy it anyways. Oh, I keep forgetting there's a second round. I always turn and I'm like, oh, I'm done. I'm not done. I'm not done at all. They release it in like the next year or two. It's got to be on the original Switch as well. But beyond that, it would make sense to only be on the new one. Yeah, but gotta give people time to upgrade. Yeah. I feel like depending on the new one, yeah, you're right. Because Animal Crossing isn't a game they're gonna like be like, oh, this is coming out with the Switch 2, you know? It's not a game that they need to do that for. Like, they could just release Animal Crossing and it would be big enough that they don't need to do that. Would it move people over? Yeah, it would. Would it? Oh, excuse me, lilac purple. Would it piss a lot of people off? Absolutely. I don't think they're willing to, at least with the Animal Crossing community, just do us like that. But again, what do I know? What do I know? All right. Oh, this is gonna be a sad moment. This is a sad moment. And it's not voiced, so I'm skipping it. I don't need sad moment. It's okay, it's okay. Everything's fine.
Preparations for the enchantment are complete. When the heart hath been suffused with a sufficient quantity of ether, the golem should be restored to life.
All right then. Whenever you're ready.
All right. That was such a long pause. Oh. Are you serious?
It's working. It's working.
Mm-hmm. Oh no. Who's this? Oh.
Magnus.
Uh-huh.
You left me for this? This wretched heap of stone and rubble? This worthless pile of earth? And yet, I can't. I can't.
This would be so... This would be so sad if I knew who he was talking about. I'd be like, dang, this is so sad. Now she's gonna be a crisis over her decision.
What troubleth thee, child?
Don't talk like that, please. Just talk regularly.
I shouldn't be here. I don't deserve to be. I don't deserve any of the things you've done for me. I'm just a burden.
Oh god.
Helpless and hopeless. If tomorrow came and I was gone, it would be better for everyone. Thancred most of all. He'll never admit it, but I can see it in his eyes. I wish he'd just say it. Just say that he hates me. That he wishes I was dead so that she could return.
She has some complex going on.
None of this is thy doing, child. 'Twas I who set the oracle on her path unto the first. I who condemned you all to suffer these torments.
Mickey, thank you for
'Tis
the
my
30
sin alone,
biddies.
and one that will haunt me unto my dying day. Yet I dare not dwell over long on my many regrets, for the world is a tapestry of fates, interwoven and inseparable. And we who strive to better it cannot choose but make difficult decisions. For naught of worth was ever achieved without sacrifice.
We'll always listen to you, Miggy.
And thus must man ever struggle to weigh life against loss. The one for whom thou mournest beareth no grudge. Were she here, she would not suffer thee to languish in sorrow. She would tell thee to seek thine own path, thine own purpose. It is a truth which I myself was slow to learn. Yet a truth it remaineth. Thou needst but have faith, and all will be well.
He's so much bigger than her. She's so small compared to him. How are we hiding? It's just like one big pole. If she like turned to the right, she would definitely see us.
Not today.
Oh, okay. He said, nope, no words. Not today. No, not today. It wasn't until Shadowbringers that it said in that Urianger was, yeah. It still, like, every time I see him, I'm like, oh, he is Elzian. Yeah, yeah, I recall.
To what do I owe the pleasure that is your extended stay?
I feel like that's changed, but that's just me.
Oh, to the tediousness of our heroes' present endeavors. That and the insufferable abundance of light in Armorang. I should be glad to keep my distance. Oh, I'm rather fond of sleep, you know. It's a wonderful way to pass the time.
Me too, Emmett.
Not that my compeers would agree, mind you. Always on the move, the lot of them. Like La Hebrea, constantly jumping from vessel to vessel. Such fire, such determination. So much passion, fleeting and forgotten. Come to think of it, Exarch, I don't believe I've ever seen you retire to your chambers for so much as 40 winks. However do you keep your eyes from closing?
Yeah, I had a hunch. I feel like he is, like, one of them. I forget what they're called.
The cold shoulder. You wound me, sir. Always so guarded in our every interaction. Interactions you curiously refrain from sharing with the Scions and their champion.
Wow.
And risk souring your budding relationship? I think not. Much as I dislike you, there are more useful targets for her energies. And I am not in the habit of pointing her at my enemies like a weapon.
Is that right? Fond of her, are you?
Who's her? I'm kind of lost.
You continue to fascinate me, Exarch. But tell me, who are you?
That's the question, isn't it, Emmett?
The once great nation whose ingenuity gave birth to this tower was shaped by my hand. As such, I know full well the wonders it can facilitate and those it cannot. There is nothing in these walls which could have aided you in summoning our dear friend across time and space. Much less in possession of her mortal flesh. Not
They're
even
talking about me.
could have performed such a feat.
Thank you, Alan. Right when I looked and saw that, I was like, oh, it's me, it's me.
I see. You had a hand in Alag as well.
I see, everyone likes me. Hey,
You would know what I am? I am the adjudicator of the sacred history with which you dared trifle. I am keeper of this tower's boundless wisdom. The wisdom of ages without age, of everywhere and nowhere. The great work of those who tamed the wings of time and grasped the nature of the rift. 'Tis a boon born of sacrifices yet unmade. The parting gift of brave heroes who will one day give their lives for a brighter future.
okay.
I will not see their hopes and dreams squandered. The history which led us here will be unwritten. I promise you that.
Who are you?
Well, it seems we're both eager to fulfill our duties then.
On that much, we are in agreement.
What is Emmett's duties? Nanosphere Fierce, welcome in. You are not the girl I fell in love with. Who are you? Why is it locked? Oh, because I clicked the wrong one. That's why. That's why. Yeah, my Sage job quest. Your mom has been watching CSI. Oh my gosh. So that's been playing along. I've been thinking about watching CSI, but I've never really gotten into it. Holy sheesh. Why is she all the way over there? Oh my god. I'm gonna have to... Why she do this to me? You know what I haven't? Hold on. I keep forgetting to do that at the beginning of every stream. It's alright. I'll get it one day. It's only taken me like a year to get this far. Sheesh, I guess I haven't... Have I been playing this almost consistently for about a year now? I think... When did I pick it back up? I think it was like May or June of last year. Maybe April? April, May? Yeah, I have no idea. But I think I've been playing it close to about a year now, which is crazy to think about. Please leave me alone. It's been a little over a year since I picked it back up. Just after Kate started the game. Yeah. And I feel like I picked it up not too long after you. Because I was like, oh, everyone's playing again. That's crazy. Let's go. Are we getting in the cart? We are. Oh my god, please. I've recently been going through many people's Endwalker playthroughs so I can enjoy the trauma. Oh no. You're saying the trauma gets worse from here? I knew that. I knew that. I knew that. He's not gonna come.
Thou must needs carry on without me.
Yep. I knew it. I knew it. He wasn't gonna come.
The path to Nabartha Rang lieth open. Whilst thou travellest thither to the south, I would apprise Mistress Alize and the others of our progress. As circumstances permit, I will thereafter rejoin the hunt for the remaining Light Wardens.
Magnus, will the gate close immediately after the trolley passes through?
No, it will stay open until someone closes it manually. Built that way to prevent any untimely accidents.
Then you and the others can meet us in Nabartha Rang, after giving the Yulmorans the slip.
Sweet. Of course not. It's all sunshines and rainbows. This game is only sunshines and rainbows. Nothing bad ever happens. No, crazy.
Thank you for everything.
Remember, thou needst but have faith.
If you finished with your goodbyes, I suggest you grab hold of something. Be a shame if you took a tumble.
I mean, to just fall in the cart, well, not standing there, but, I feel like...
The tracks beyond the gate aren't in the best of shape, so the trolley can only go as far as Malik.
I feel like Thancred just gets more and more attractive. Anyways.
Godspeed.
Can you tell I like, white-haired characters or light-haired characters? Crazy. Crazy concept. I don't have a type at all. No. That's so funny. Hello. It said you get to be blurry. Good bot. Thank you, bot. What is up with the uprise and these spam stuff? I feel like just last month or two, it's just been so much. Like since the new year.
Well, so far so good.
You're gonna jinx us. Why would you say that? I don't even want to look. Yep.
Wait, is that Ranjit?
What did I freaking say? How is he still alive? That literally makes no sense. This game pisses me off. Quite literally?
You're a
I can't kill anyone. I'm going back. I can never kill anyone.
One who has mastered Gukumots fears not the blackest pit or the fieriest hell.
Oh my god, get over yourself.
Your deeds in the east did not go unnoticed. Long have I lain in wait, and sure enough, you did not disappoint.
How did he even get through? Literally plot holes. Can someone explain to me?
Sworn fealty to Lord Vorthry, you
plot holes.
Cause to skulk.
He has story armor, and I don't like it. And I might have story armor too, but that's because I'm the chosen one, and that doesn't matter.
As you are, while I dispatch these villains.
No.
Oh, I skipped her.
You forget to whom you speak. Who armed you, trained you, fought and killed 1,000 sin-eaters with you. And when you were inevitably cut down and lay lifeless in my arms, who sought out your successor to carry on the futile struggle again and again?
Oh my god, get over yourself. I hate him.
We seek to bring peace to what is left of this shattered land, while these mad fools would only bring further chaos down upon us.
Literally, like, he's... he's the epitome of, like, how older people will not change their mind on anything. Like, you try and, like, majority. A lot of them. Not saying all of them, but a lot of them. Where it's like you're trying to explain, like, hey, this is good. And they're like, what do you mean? No, it works like this. And you're like, it's been 50 years. Not anymore. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Do not be deceived, child. Only by Lord Vorthry's hand will this dying world know a sliver of salvation.
Why does he like to, like, boost that guy's ego?
I don't know about the world, but I never asked to be saved.
Oh my god.
However much it hurts, and however hard it gets. It's my life, and I want to live it on my own terms.
Okay, well that's good. I didn't like the first part of that.
And those mad fools you want me to abandon, the ones I've traveled with, fought with, and may one day die with, they feel the same. So no, I will not be deceived, no matter what you say. I refuse to believe it's all for nothing.
She's so... she's so, like, innocent in a way that, like, I find her a little annoying. But it's endearing, you know what I mean? It's like, oh,
they're everything to me. All I have, and all I need. And I would gladly do anything for them. Let us pass, or kill me. I'm not leaving here without them.
Okay,
How dare you? Very well. If you would cast your lot with villains, then you shall share their fate.
I don't understand how bringing the nighttime is being a villain, but it's fine. She didn't even defend herself. She didn't even try.
Said, and I'm sorry for all the things I've left unspoken.
This is not the time. Well, I guess that was the time because that's...
You have to go now.
No, this is not the time. I take it back.
No.
Yep, not the time.
Go. Do what you came here to do. I'll not have you waste that newfound resolve on me. I leave her in your hands. Hurry!
Why wouldn't I stay behind and let her and Thancred go? Because I'm the one who stands the most chance against this guy. Oh my lord. If he doesn't have plot armor and this old man does, I'm quitting. I'm quitting this game. I'm retiring. I'm quitting.
Not another step. Your fight is with me.
And I'm gonna get a refund.
You think yourself a protector? As if a whelp like you could be a better father to her than me.
Dear lord. I don't think he wants to be a dad. Does he? I don't think so. Am I gonna be fighting as him? So he does have plot armor. I don't know. I don't know how to do this. Oh. Oh my lord. Oh, I shouldn't be running in the fire. That's not very smart of me. Oh. I should have waited to use that. What is this? Uh-huh. I can't move. This is stressful. This makes, what is this? Spicy feet. Okay, that's fine. I can move. Dan, hello, welcome in. It's so nice to see you. How are you? What is this? move, please. How? Oh, that's gonna get me. Oh. Okay. I don't think I'm built for this life, guys. I don't think I'm built for this.
This is going well.
Is it? I'm glad you have more faith than I do. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Beast of my blood, answer my call!
You got this, Dan. I believe in you. How much longer do you have for work?
Rend my foes and ward their
That's
blows.
kind of cool. Is that a scythe? Because, like, me too, sir. Oh, no! Okay, I made it. Haha. Oh, wait. Hello? That was smart of me to save that one. I felt like I knew that was coming up. I felt it in my bones. Oh my god, how is that fair? That's not fair. Less than 3 hours. Oh, you got it. Easy, Dan. I don't got it. I don't got it, but you got it.
When will you learn?
What was that? What is that? No. I would prefer not to. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know what to do. 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 How do I can't sprint. This is bad. Wait. Oh. It's telling me what to do.
Not good.
Just hold your breath. What is that? Not good. The one shot. Oh, God. Fudge, man. Please. Oh my god. Parlor tricks. I'm sorry you're jealous. Oh my god, I didn't write the one right. I didn't make it. Haha. Aha! my god, oh my god, oh my god! I'm not built for the tank life. This is too stressful. He's not dying either. Sheesh, my guy.
And you presume to be her protector? Pathetic!
I feel like you have some weird attachment to this girl. Oh, oh! I can't! It's just the rest of Shadowbringers. You fight for 8 hours.
No quarter!
Oh god, he's gonna hit me again. Yeah. Fuck, man. I'm gonna die, 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 I'm gonna die. Give me the potion! And hit and run. Hi, Rio. I hope you're well, Rio. I'm currently fighting for my life. Oh! Oh! It just keeps on coming! Oh! 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 Wow, sirs. That was not good. Oh, this isn't good. No! How close was I? Was I close? Can someone tell me I was close? Actually, don't. I think that would only make it hurt even more. Hi, Rio. Dear Lord. Proceed with very easy, thank you. I'm glad to hear you're doing good. I'm doing decently well. Hopefully I can get through this fight this time.
Come on!
I just want him. Oh my god. Can we go to the next phase, please?
This is going well.
Oh.
Beast of my blood.
Okay,
Answer
cool.
my call.
Next phase.
Rend my foes and ward their blood.
I didn't know we were leveling up like in Pokemon, man. He just evolved right in front of me. How is that fair? Bum, bum, bum. Sheesh. Oh.
When will you learn?
Bum, bum, bum. Quick breather, just in the middle of a fight. No big deal.
Not good.
Fudgin' heck, man. Oh, I didn't mean to click that one. Oh no. It's fine. I just need to last like 30 seconds for it to recharge. Oh. I feel like this is doing nothing.
And you presume to be her protector? Pathetic.
Please let me move. God.
No quarter.
make it. I barely made it. Holy sheesh. My time. Bro, I have full health. You do not.
Is that all?
Oh god.
Fall!
Oh no! How? Oh gosh. Sir, please. How's this fair? This doesn't seem fair to me. One last one? My guy, it hasn't worked twice. It's not gonna work again. I can't even get near him. Okay. If only that would actually finish him off, but I know that's not how this story goes. That's not how this works.
You would have her suffer and die. I would spare her that fate. That is not for you or anyone else to decide ever again.
Sheesh. The plot armor is strong in this one. That was so unnecessary. You didn't have to stand back up and then flop on your back, my guy.
Not a single day goes by that I don't think about all that you have given me.
Oh gosh.
Countless memories and moments.
Is he dying?
For granted.
It's not funny.
Gods, you grew up so fast. But you had to, didn't you? For those you had lost. For those you could yet save. A world teetering on the very brink of oblivion, for which you gave your everything, without hesitation. Your kindness, your compassion, your love, then and now.
I'm sorry, I know this is supposed to be really heartfelt.
One last time, with a little help. I'm so proud to have been a part of your life.
Oh, he's like finally like letting her go.
Oh, Minfilia.
I hate when it does that. It's not like I can read lips, because their lips don't move the same way the words. God. I know we said like, I love you or something. I just, ugh. I'm gonna have to go straight into another battle. Excuse me. All right. Don't want to get near that guy. Oh my gosh! It's one of those things. I need it. Ooh. Dear fudge, man.
Is this...
Oh, the OG. No, it's just a flashback. Erica, hello, welcome in.
The flood!
What? I'm confused. Why do they make it look like water? Isn't it? Whatever.
Look! There's somebody up there! On top of the palace!
Think you're doing your daily star candy. Who? And is that Minfilia? Holy heck. That's supposed to be a flood of light, so I don't understand why they animated it like water. Oh, is this why all his friends disappeared?
No, stand back. We shall stay the flood.
But this is what I want! It's my sacrifice to make!
She said nope. Mm-mm.
Your time has not yet come. When all hangs in the balance, you must give them hope.
Minfilia!
Dang. He has a higher purpose, is what she said. She said not yet. That poor guy. He's been through so much. I don't like that noise.
Ours is a meeting long overdue. Full glad am I that we may finally speak. My dear, sweet child, yours is a burden none should ever be forced to bear. Such pain and suffering you have endured, yet still you came. For this and more, I thank you.
I've lost count of the times I've almost given up. If people hadn't helped me every step of the way, I never would have made it.
Yet here you stand, resolved. Now, tell me your heart's desire.
To defeat the Sin Eaters, and bring this world back from the brink. The remaining Wardens have hidden themselves from us. But with the power of the Oracle, I thought we might be able to find them.
Indeed you could. Their radiance would be unmistakable. But know, my child, that the power you seek will come at a price. We stand now at the crossroads. A decision must be made. 'Tis only natural to be afraid, to hesitate. But for your many trials, you have grown stronger and wiser. And with the love and support of those you hold dear, you have grown to love yourself.
Too loud.
The flood has washed away so much of this world. So many people and places and possibilities, and all the heroes who fought to protect them. Yet here the Scions are, trying so hard to help those few of us who remain, and seeing how tirelessly they work, how completely committed they are to the cause. I can't help but believe. I want to do more than just watch and cheer. I want to make a difference. I want to help them like they helped me, and maybe even inspire others to do the same. Coming together, providing for one another. That's the only way forward I can see. Since all of our heroes are gone, we'll just have to make heroes of ourselves.
'Tis a beautiful, wonderful dream. One we share, Though my power was all but spent in staying the flood, I prayed this final act would give hope to those who survived. That self-same hope lives on in you. It gives me comfort to know that the future is in capable hands.
Aww, she's gonna die again. This would be so much more emotional if she didn't die the first time.
Remember this. No one, however powerful, is immune to the whisperings of doubt and despair. Do not give in to them. But do not deny them either. Look instead to the light within, that you may continue to serve as a beacon to others.
Thank you, Minfilia, for believing in us, for believing in me.
Dearest friend, no words can express my gratitude to you for keeping her safe in these tumultuous times. You are a hero to us both.
Dang.
But not even the most valiant heroes can stand alone. Only together may you change the fate of two worlds.
She's like, don't forget about your friends. You can't do it alone. Okay. I already knew that, but it's okay. It's fine. You don't have to remind me. Another cutscene? Dang, one after another. Oh my god. Her hair. Her eyes. Is this what... Is this what she was supposed to look like if she wasn't like the reincarnation of Minfilia? Your hair was the first thing I've noticed, yes. A parting gift, I think. Cute. Until now, I've walked the path she set before me, the path she sets before all the Minfilias. Wifey, welcome in. It's nice to see you. How are you? But she's given me a new path, a new life, and one I can call my own. Even though she's gone, I can still feel her warmth, calm, and gentle. Okay, I'm over it. Cute. I like her hair and her hair color a lot. It's very cute. Whoopee. Where am I now? I should probably, yep. I guess I could. I keep forgetting that I can zoom out on that map. Are we just gonna find him like passed out? I guess like same. I guess taking a nap after his fight is very much warranted. I think you're doing your daily star candy, wifey. But I'm having flashbacks to ARR. Going to the first base. Oh no. Wait, that's so funny. See, she could have made it over that. I think the horse made it over that. At least he still has his clothes this time. Touché. Touche.
Ah, there you are. We were worried.
He says as he's beaten
She
up.
wasn't the one that nearly got herself killed.
Yeah.
It's a good thing Urianger called on us when he did. You were at death's door when we found you.
But thanks to your timely ministrations, I was not obliged to walk through it.
The big reveal. Girl, just walk.
Minfilia?
You saw her.
I know I haven't exactly been pulling my weight up till now, but that's all going to change, starting today. I'll do whatever it takes to make Minfilia's dream a reality. I can track the Light Wardens now, maybe even help you fight them.
I'm glad you're back.
You don't have to say that, you know.
But I want to. Your family. How else would I feel?
Oh. Yeah. Oh. Me too, girl.
She will need a name.
A name?
A name of her own. I would not have her walk in the shadow of another any longer.
Just Minfilia and her two gay dads. Love to see it.
And I think it a fitting tribute to our departed friend, too. At the mention of Minfilia, I would remember the woman who preserved our fellowship when all seemed lost.
Alright, so what's this new girl's name, I guess? Why don't we ask her if she wants to change her name? Wouldn't that be nice?
Do you remember what you were called before you were taken to Yulmore?
I'm sorry, I don't. I couldn't have been very old when it happened.
Then we must think of a new name. Suggestions?
Okay. Oh, it's all gonna be up to him, of course.
If the lady herself has no preference, I think the honor should rightly fall to Thancred. After all they have been through together, he's practically a father to her.
Well spotted. I'm so glad you're here to explain these things.
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing.
She's so sassy.
What about Reen?
Oh my god, Reen.
Ah, blessing in Fae. Wait, does this mean thou wert listening when I delivered my lectures on the pixies?
Not exactly, but that one word made an impression.
So you were listening.
Of course, if it's not to your liking, I can think of something else.
Nah, she's gonna be like, it's perfect.
Reen. Yes, I rather like the sound of it. Thank you.
That settled.
Oh, I clicked too fast.
I won't let you down.
My guy's he's been through a lot. Dads. I feel like... Oh, another cutscene. I should have sang the comment. No talking, though. Let's go. Where is it? It's fine. Everything's fine, Beth. Hello? Oh, man. I can't TP anywhere. Oh, man. I'm just gonna... Yep. If this is a light warden, who knew it'd be so close? It was right here. Woo! Another duty available. Let's go. Why is it showing? Is it just saying I can team up with all of them? Oh, it is. Yes. I shall hold, but yes, wifey. I'm Reaper. That is a question you probably asked Beth anyways. Oh. Okay. Yes, Alan, let's go. Yes, that is Alan's name. I believe that's correct, Beth. Onks. I really want to read it as like... No. No, never mind. Forget it. Forget it! Oh, okay. Let's go! Yeah, that's what I think mine reads it as that. We need DPS, I think. Because I'm DPS, wifey is tank, Beth is probably heals. Oh, we have 2 tanks? Is that good? Is that okay? Oh, okay. Black mage it is. Let's go. This one's definitely it. Awesome! Alright, guys. I'm excited for this one. I hated the last boss in this when I did. Oh gosh. Oh, you love it? Oh, this one. Oh gosh. Let's go. We got this, guys. I believe in us. Oh no. Yikes. I didn't mean to do that. Ash has played tank a handful of times. I feel like Ash normally tanks when they're with me. Ash has to remember that I'm a baby and it might get a little spicy. She will tank when I heal, yeah. Okay. I gotta figure out how to get a little nickname like you guys have. You can pull more if you want. The first one was a fluke. Beth sneezed. It wasn't her fault. Oh god. I apologize. Hi, Kate. Sorry. I feel like I'm just missing it ever so slightly. Okay, I made that one. Okay, I did that one too. Let's go. Improvement. Chaos. Welcome in. Let's go. Thank you, Kate. You guys did amazing. I know you can barely see Kiko in the corner. Break of death. Please. I see. They were self-destructing. Like Pokemon. Got it. Oh. Are we okay. Thank you, Chaos. I appreciate it. How are you? How was your weekend? How have you been? Wow. Oh, wow. There's a lot in here. I was at a wedding. That's so fun, Chaos. I feel like you've gone to a lot of weddings this year. They give us a choose your own adventure book. Oh my god, that's so fun. People just keep getting married. Crazy concept. Which is really funny, actually. Two girls at my work, I think one like maybe a month ago got engaged, and like literally one just got engaged this past weekend. And that's actually crazy because there's like 10 of us there. Not even. I think there's like 6 now. 6 or 7. So sorry, I had to come. I'm gonna be so real. I see, I see. I saw what happened. I will try and remember it for next time. Long cutscenes, oh my gosh. Probably is not better because you've probably seen them 1,000 times before, right? Wow. Okay. Oh, I literally walked straight into that. I think I did it right that time. Let's go. I should move. Oh, it is? I'm catching up on it. Okay, let's go. Is it going okay at least? Every Illibrand content is basically 99% cutscenes. Oh, with elaborate animations that you can't skip past before the next dialogue of text. Oh, interesting. I had no idea. Sometimes they are like, you know what? You're not allowed to skip this one. It does kind of suck though, because like, what if you have played this game many times before? You just kind of have to watch it again. Over and over and over. Whoopee. Let's go. You can skip the entire cutscene, but you can't skip parts of the cutscene. Oh. And there's several minutes just because the guy has to strike poses between. I almost fucked up. That makes sense. I definitely would have skipped the whole cutscene, but I applaud you for not. I do feel like Wifey and Beth have like different opinions on a decent amount of things in this game. It's never bad, it's just funny. I feel like one of them likes one thing and another one doesn't. Mostly valid. So valid. it's very stupid humor. I see, I see. Yeah, I don't know if I'd like that or not. I just can't with the poses. The humor plus the poses, Erica's out. Oh, this is so cool. Storage? His name is Storage? Dear Lord. Get out of here, Storage. Okay. Oh, it's like a biblical angel, pretty much. I love that they're making him kind of like that. It's so cool. All right, everyone. I couldn't. Okay, I thought that was the front. I saw a face, and I was like, oh, am I on the wrong side? No. She just has a face on every side. Oh, I didn't understand. Next time. Oh, in. Oh no! Oh. This is what I get for being a clicker. This is what I get for being a clicker. I misclicked. Mama. I'm guessing this is the final boss. It's gotta be. It's the Light Warden. I don't know why my brain... Too many clicks. I don't understand. I don't understand that one. So it's at the ball points is where it bursts out, so I need to not be at those. I think that was my issue. Oh my god. I'm sorry, just leave me. Leave me be. Just leave me for a minute. I see. Dear Lord. Please heal yourself first. I'll be alright. That is so valid, Erica. Oh my god. Oh no! Oh my god. Oh no. It's okay, wifey. I got a choker, guys. No, you're fine, wifey. Where the light will burst out. The corners. Wait, the corners are saying? Yeah, you can toss if you want. You don't have to solo. Ash is kind of like, I don't know. This is. The sides of the pyramid is where the lights will burst out. The corners are safe. So. What? So the corners are safe. I'll try and just follow one of you guys, and then I'll get up. If Wybie doesn't completely solo right now. The little ding ding. He basically shoots lasers along either from himself or the towers. Oh. Okay, hold on. Gotta go back to the starting point. 2 times the charm, guys. 2 times the charm. We got this. Oh, I was about to be like, we have to run all the way back. We can utilize the shortcut. So, like, up, right, left, down from himself. Oh, God. I think I understand. That's the one that really gets me. That leaves the diagonal safe. Okay. Wait. I went the wrong way. With the tornado of safety. I'm like just running off the map. Excuse me, guys. I'm just hitting everything, Beth. So if you can see the square around him, you go to the corner and then a little further away just for safety. Okay. Let me look at your outfit. Oh. I like your ponytail. It's super cute. With the red at the front. Sorry, dog. Oh, no big deal. First she asked for outside 80 times and now we won't let her eat the cat food. How dare. Yeah, I didn't think your character had that last time. It's very cute. I like it. Zoom out and then... Dorito safety. Oh, I see, okay. I honestly didn't register that it was happening that time. I will get it next time. Okay, see? I did it! I got it that time. Let's go. But I need to not be next to wifey. Oh, here. Oh, sheesh. It's rapid fire! Okay. They go off the same order they spawn. Okay. I'm gonna be real, I only registered one spawn. Only one was processed. Not good. Not yet. Where's my mouse? Holy heck. They're going in a circle, yeah. You're only really exposed to some of these mechanics and raids prior to this fight. So if you don't succeed Alexander... Yeah, I don't think I have seen it before now. And I feel like I'm rusty because I haven't played in forever. Let's go! Second time's the charm, guys. That Alexander Prime version is easier than his? Oh my gosh. Yes, go let the go let Chester outside. Thank you. GG's everyone. I can't wait to wait, how many do we have 2 more Light Wardens after this? Or was this the second to last one? I couldn't remember if we had 3 or 2 left. Ash said, I wanna play. I wanna go. Oh yeah, are we gonna revisit what's gonna happen to me when I consume all of this light? Yeah, I guess we're figuring that out. Am I not gonna say anything to anyone? I mean, she'd been asking for a while. So she'd be like, maybe I do, maybe not. Yay! Let's go, guys! Ooh, there's a song. And other stuff that I don't really care about. Thank you for doing- Whoa! How'd I get that? Oh! Am I... Interesting. I don't know how I'm doing that. Oh, you're marking us. I was like, did I do that? Oh, this is gonna show the darkness coming back, isn't it? I get food now. I starve. Yeah, please
Don't get
get
me
some
wrong,
food.
I'm glad those travelers made it all the way to Nabatha Reng. But when Urianger told me the Talos was in pieces, and the trolley didn't look much better, I couldn't help wondering what in the hells had gone on.
What indeed? At least the heart is in one piece. Looking at this mess, though, it's a miracle they survived.
You can say that again. What the? Are you seeing this?
I want to see it turn to like just regular day.
The sky.
It's always night. That one is fun, but I do remember when I was trying to learn it myself and doing it with NPCs and having to do that last fight over and over. Yeah. I feel like that was just like a lot of new things thrown at you at once. I feel like that in every boss. Like there's always like some type of new mechanic-ish. And you're just like, oh. Oh my god, this is the kid that girl saved. I do like that fight a lot. I do like that one. It's like the perfect amount of challenging in my opinion. I like immediately, now that the eternal sun is gone, it's like
at last. Night has returned to Amarin.
It's like crickets have returned. It's like they were just waiting in the night. That's so funny.
We'll save this broken world yet, Tesleen. You see if we don't.
That's the girl who saved the little boy. Oh god.
No doubt retreating in the wake of the Warden's demise.
Back to Calusia, the last refuge of light.
Home to our dear Lord Vorth.
Oh gosh.
Who will no doubt do everything in his power to thwart us.
As well he should. For defeat there would spell the end for both him and his heavenly host.
Heavenly? My guy's got a grudge.
There the fate of this star shall be decided.
Dang. Oh, sheesh, guys. Level 81 now. Okay. I'm debating. So, what? Um, 77. I wish it would tell me where I was in it. So I could kind of guesstimate how much longer I have until the end. Yes. until the end of Shadowbringers. You just did level 76, Dungeon Shadowbringers ends at level 80. Okay, yeah, that does. Thank you, Erica. Does the PC version have an achievement tracker like on PlayStation? It does. I haven't seen a percentage before. Oh, I'm gonna have a cutscene with the guy. The Warrior of Light from this world that everyone hates. Why did they change it so much? Why doesn't the PC have it, but the PlayStation does?
And sometimes the dead would rather not be disturbed. But enough about me. What of Armor Rang?
Okay. If I'm back, obviously it happened. I defeated it. Ouch. I'm just trying to be friendly and talk to you because I'm the only one who can talk to you, but it's fine.
Minfilia's gone then.
Oh, it's a PlayStation feature. Okay, okay.
Which means the reason I must suffer this purgatory shall forever remain a mystery.
Well, I kind of saw... He's acting like... Hold on. Oh. This is important.
What's the matter? Are you all right?
Do I look all right?
What just happened?
I don't know. Anyways, he's acting like he didn't hear Minfilia literally tell him that it's not your time yet. Like, you have a purpose.
Minfilia said my time had not yet come. That I still had a role to play.
Wait. Yeah, did you not hear that when she said it to you?
Not even the most valiant heroes can stand alone. No, it couldn't be. There's only one hero in this room, and it is not me. I'm just a shadow, cursed to wander.
Oh my god. It has been a few years with him. I do understand. And he's just like wallowing in like what happened, so I understand. Oh. Why is he at my chambers?
Forgive the intrusion, but Minfilia, that is, Reen, and the others were asking after you. Is everything all right?
Were they?
That pain again. And did it pass?
Yeah.
Thank goodness for that.
Not with that
I would not wish to see
attitude.
you suffer.
Truly, he is not a hero with that attitude.
Though I know only too well how much you have suffered on our behalf in recent days. Indeed, I have no right to impose upon you further. Nevertheless, I must ask one thing of you. That you survive this, no matter what.
Okay. Easy, okay.
When the dust settles, you must return to your world. For the battles to come, and the wars yet unwon.
He said, hey, once you wrap up our world ending and save us, you gotta go back to your world and continue the war there and fight even more.
That stands between us and victory. There is still much we must do to prepare. But for now, I will see if there is aught that may remedy the strange affliction which plagues you.
I think I know what it is. The other guy's gonna absorb it, and then he's gonna be able to rest. And then he found his purpose, and so he's a hero.
Of that I have no doubt.
That's what I feel like.
Even if I had my pick of every Reflections heroes, I could not have asked for a finer champion.
Thanks. Thanks, I try.
I'll not keep you from your rest any longer. Take as much time as you like.
I don't know if time is a luxury you guys have. I don't know if time's a luxury I have. Because, like, what's going on in my world? We haven't seen an update. Oh. Oh. It would need to be later, after the liberation of Alamigo, perhaps. Who? Huh? Dear God, that actually kind of scared me. Wait, is this the crystal guy? Crystal person? Please tell me you finished. We have to go. They'll be upon us any moment. Very well. Where to next then? Let's just worry about getting out of the city and pray the airship is still in one piece. Anywhere we go from here will just be more of the same. Gods, but the sounds of the last one, I reckon the Knight's 12 might be the Knight's rubble now. Is there nothing else we can do? Look around you. This isn't war. It's a sickness, and it's spread to every corner of Eorzea. The city-states are in disarray, and by all accounts, the Far East faring no better. There'll be nothing left of us when this is over. This world is beyond saving. Wait, is this like the Eorzea right now? I never tire of that story. When the hero sweeps in astride a white dragon to save the little girl. But they say Alamigo, so shouldn't... I'm confused of the timeline. I could die happy knowing someone like that was still around. Indeed, but not today. Not while our message remains undelivered. I literally got no answers for that. I'm just actually confused. Have faith, my friends. We will find her. They said, hey, here's this random scene. Ahaha. You're welcome. Dear God. I don't want it to make sense later. I want it to make sense now. Was that the past? That's what I want to say. Just gotta remember that scene for a hot minute. Oh god. I'm gonna forget it. They need to do like a recall for me. You know, when it comes up, they'll be like, recall this? Okay, let's move on. Remember when this happened? Yeah. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. All right, we got another meeting with the crystal person. Emmett's just always there in the back. Just hanging out. Just waiting for something interesting to happen.
There you are. May I assume you've had your fill of rest?
Yeah. I guess.
That is well. Now that we are all present, let us speak of our plan.
Why am I never there?
Thus far, we have vanquished 4 Light Wardens,
Why
restoring
don't
light to
I
much of Norvrand.
ever present the plan? You know, since I'm the one at the forefront at all times.
Only one remains, that of Calusia. And with Reen to guide us, I am certain we will find it.
We're so close now. If we can just take care of this one last warden, we'll rob the Sin Eaters of their final foothold and drive them out of Norvrand once and for all.
Is Norvrand the whole world?
It will be a new beginning for the first. A chance for the people to rebuild their world.
Okay, yeah.
In short, a prize worth fighting for.
And in thus delivering the first
Girl
from
with
destruction,
fighting for.
so too shall we unsow the seeds of the 8th umbral calamity.
Do you hear? Your dreamed of rejoining is in jeopardy. Are you sure you're not tempted to intervene?
You labor under the misapprehension that vanquishing the Sin Eaters is tantamount to saving the world. It is not. In truth, you only delay the inevitable, lengthening your fleeting lives by the smallest of margins.
What?
Twould be churlish of me to deny you this small concession, close as we've become. Foolish and misguided though you are not without charm. Each and every one of you is possessed of a noble heart. When the weak want for succor, you do not hesitate to provide it. Alas, your nobility is short-sighted. You think only of the problem in front of your nose. A limitation of your ephemeral existence.
Our lives may seem short and insignificant to the likes of you, but one does not need to be an eternal being to achieve lasting change.
If I may stop you there, I do not claim that we Ascians are special. That is another misconception. In the beginning, everyone lived nigh for eternity. Such was the natural order of things. But like so much else, this was taken from you.
Bye, Chaos. Hope tabletop goes well. I will. Do not worry. Kiko will get all the love.
You won't object if I borrow your plaything? In the distant past, when the world was one and whole, a great calamity threatened all life. It began without warning. The very laws of the star were warped and broken, and chaos swiftly spread throughout the land. Faced with annihilation, we sought to imbue the star with its own will. Thus was Zodiac born, and by his power was order restored. Ere long, however, thankless fools began to fear that Zodiac's might was too great, and so they conjured another to keep him in check. Your own dear Hydaelyn.
And the two beings waged war until, with a single devastating blow, Hydaelyn unmade Zodiac, scattering his being across space and time. So you told us in the Katana Ravel.
Yes, yes. And there began our woes, with Hydaelyn's blow and all that it wrought. As a counterbalance to Zodiac, Hydaelyn was created with the power to enervate her foe. This singular ability strikes not at such banal things as flesh, but everything that defines the target, diluting its existence. For example, were she to strike you? Two individuals, identical in appearance yet reduced in all respects. Strength, intelligence, the soul itself, all is halved. Do you see? This self-same fate befell not only Zodiac, but the very star.
Okay, but at this point, just like, leave it alone. Because you're just gonna cause more destruction by combining them, right?
Only 3 were fortunate enough to escape the sundering. Me being one of them. When I beheld the shattered remnants of our home, I knew deepest despair.
He was like one of the original 3
The inhabitants
Asians.
of these 14 fragments were feeble, frail and foolish, oblivious to their imperfection, ignorant of their past. Malformed creatures thrashing blindly about. Pitiful, disturbing, depressing. So, we took it upon ourselves to rejoin the worlds. But in our eagerness and, I confess, our ignorance, we erred and made a useless void of the 13th. It was only afterwards that we discovered a connection twixt source and shard. A flow of energy that maintains elemental balance. And thus did we arrive at our time-honored modus operandi.
From a purely Asian standpoint, it could be said that what you seek to do is only logical. But that would be to ignore the immeasurable destruction wrought with each rejoining. You have murdered millions, and this we cannot condone.
By your fragmented existence, you continue to give rise to tragedies far crueler than any calamity. But yes, moral relativism and all that. Case in point, I do not consider you to be truly alive, ergo I will not be guilty of murder if I kill you. Oh, don't look at me like that. You for whom I have only the highest expectations. A vaunted hero of the Source, 7 times rejoined. Long have I awaited one who might brave a path of lesser tragedy. A resilient soul able to endure the necessary pain. I dare to hope that my wait is over.
What does that mean?
So, finish your task and slay the Light Warden. Make proof of your usefulness, and then we may speak again.
I see his logic in a sense. It's definitely twisted and warped, and not at all correct. I guess. In his eyes, it's correct, but it's not correct by saying that they're not alive. But I can see his logic behind it.
Our informant in Colusia sends word of unusual activity in Yulmore.
Yeah.
It appears their forces are entrenching themselves at key points throughout the city, making ready for an attack by
An intriguing use of resources. I rather doubt Lord Vor's concern for the safety of citizens.
You think he's harboring the Light Warden inside the city walls? Even if he does have some means of controlling the Sin Eaters, wouldn't that be a little risky?
Risky or not, if there is even a chance the Warden is hiding there, we will need to act fast. The longer we wait, the better prepared the Yulmorans will be.
Plus that old guy is gonna be there.
See to your preparations
the
then and make for
ex-father.
God's willing, this hunt will be the last.
Gosh.
We should begin by assembling in right. There we may assess the situation in...
Is that where I met him first? I'm guessing it is. Oof. We exit. Who came up with this? Who came up with, hey, this is gonna happen? We're gonna have one world split into, was it 13? I don't know. Crazy concept. Okay. Oh, I kind of forgot what this area looked like. Has experience with crazy concept in games. Wait, what other games do they make? I know I used to note the names of a few of them, but oh my gosh. Okay, so the last guy is up there. Near, oh, they are, near Dragon Quest, Kingdom Hearts are the big ones outside of Final Fantasy as a whole. Okay. That makes sense. I need to read up on Dragon Quest. I don't really know about that, but I know a lot about Nier and Kingdom Hearts. What is happening? Oh, they're all like in a trance.
Passing strange.
Wait, they also handled Mario 3-on-3 basketball game? Wait, that's so funny. I had no idea.
By their behavior, we may safely assume that they are under Vorthri's mind control. Yet the extent of the effect seemeth to vary dramatically between subjects. It is far too pronounced to be attributed simply to the vagaries of innate magical resistance.
Curiouser and curiouser. We met with no trouble en route. My thanks for securing the way.
Thick.
But given the state of the townsfolk, I see we were never in any danger of being recognized.
Well, we had to take precautions.
What can you tell us from here?
I sense a powerful eater in the uppermost reaches of the city.
So it's at the very top?
But there's something different about it. Its light is impure.
Interesting.
We need to get closer.
Oh, so that one's Alphino. Well, unless you're triplets.
Oh, not this guy. I didn't really like him.
What are you doing here?
But he's fine. He's fine.
While I was scouting the area, I noticed a suspicious figure skulking about. So I accosted him, only to have him call me Alphino. I thought it best to bring him along.
You see, that informant who's been feeding secrets to the Crystarium, it's me. See, after you saved my life in Yulmore, I thought about going somewhere far away, but I couldn't just leave. Not without paying you back.
Aww.
So I decided to stay here, keep an eye on things. And whenever I spotted something strange...
That took no small amount of courage. Well done.
I assume you saw what happened here.
Right, so an airship flew in a bit ago, and not long after, Vorthri starts ranting and raving. You could hear him from all the way out here. Geezer was doing his nut, shouting and screaming like someone had nicked his pie.
'Tis like the airship bore the soldiers.
That's one way to put it.
Efforts in Armorang.
So eventually the yelling dies down, and then this hot, sticky wind comes blowing through.
They did this on purpose.
Now that's when everyone went funny. No, everyone but me. Well, me and a couple of newcomers, though even they started mumbling about Vorthri after a while. Not as bad as the rest, mind you.
Newcomers.
There's something I need Reen to see. This was among the townfolk's food stores.
Oh, that's just meal. Yulmore doles this stuff out.
No, it couldn't be. I know what it is.
Oh no, I get a bad feeling.
It's Sin Eater. Meal is made out of Sin Eater.
I would puke right then and there. That is...
So it is. In limited quantities, it may have little effect on an average individual.
Exactly,
But if one were to consume it
Michelle.
regularly, over a period of several years, I suspect it would do far, far more than merely nourish the body.
Welcome in. Thank you for the lurking. That is absolutely vile.
Free wieldeth power over sin eaters is known.
Thank you for the shout
Could
for
it be
Michelle.
that those who partake of their flesh do thereby render themselves susceptible to his influence? It would serve to explain why the town's newer arrivals succumbed less quickly than those raised on a diet of meal.
Oof.
He's been rounding up sin eaters and feeding them to people, altering them mouthful by mouthful, all to stop them answering back. There are desperate souls out there killing themselves to escape turning. This is unforgivable. An atrocity.
Thank you.
These sin eaters. What if they are not simply rounded up? Do you remember what we were told when first we came to the city? Many enter, but none leave.
I'm gagged.
Let us put an end to it. To this paradise built upon the bones of the poor.
Oh.
Volturi's deeds are beyond justification.
My
Beyond
God.
forgiveness.
It's highly probable that the Light Warden is waiting for us somewhere in there. And I'm all for going after it. But our enemies know our faces. They know that we are coming, and they will not let us through
My
without
skin
a
is
fight.
crawling, guys.
Like it or not, the time for stealth is past. Now, my friend, if you would be so good.
Yeah, I got you. Yep. Oh God. Oh, I have goosebumps. Oh wow. Wow, 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 wow. All right. All right. I'm trying to determine on if I'm gonna call it there and start next time with the start of this, or finish this up. I think second to last level, 77 quest. You're almost on the final stretch. This would be an okay place to stop. Okay. I think I might. That is... Guys, that's actually bonkers. I genuinely cannot believe but yeah. Thanks for being here, everyone. I appreciate it. Final Fantasy is glitching. Okay, there we go. Yeah, no, I didn't see that coming at all. There's been aspects in this game where I'm like, oh wait, like I really did not see that coming at all. Zero, zilch, nada. It's such a fun game. It's so fun. I thought the food was weird. Yeah, but I didn't think of that either. I think I can't remember. All right, we're gonna raid Rio. Here's my raid messages. Here are my socials. I posted I'm gonna go live on there. Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it, and I will hopefully be live again maybe once more this week. If not, I will be for sure on Kate's channel this Saturday starting between 4:30 and 5. I'll be playing Repo there with her and a couple of pals. We'll see if the co-streaming things going on. I don't know, because I don't know how many people are gonna want to do that, or you know, I have no idea. But yeah, Michelle, thank you for being here. Alan, thank you for being here. Beth, thank you for being here. Anyone else who is still here lurking, I appreciate you guys so much. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Okay. Goodbye. Bye, Erica.